Part 1, the study. Why is this study being done? This study aims to better understand how best to plan and organise stroke services so that more people may benefit from the treatments that are now available. We feel we can learn a lot from the experience of healthcare staff who work in the field of stroke care. By listening to the stories and experiences of staff members, we can better understand the challenges that they face when they're providing urgent stroke care. With many important steps in the chain of care, stroke care is complex and challenging to provide at a consistently high level of quality. One of the most critical steps in the care chain is provided by ambulance crews in the pre-hospital setting. A particular focus of this study is to understand challenges of ambulance staff working in the pre-hospital setting, including acute care, transportation and patient offload to the hospital sites. By exploring these factors that the ambulance crews identify or perceive as helping or hindering them in responding to, caring for or transporting patients with stroke-like symptoms, we may gain insights into how future stroke services may be organised to minimise delay in both the pre-hospital setting and the in-hospital steps of the acute stroke pathway. Why have I been invited to take part? We're asking you to consider taking part because we feel we can learn from your experience of working in the field of pre-hospital stroke care with the National Ambulance Service. We believe that understanding your individual experience can help us improve how stroke care is organised for everyone who has a stroke in future. As well as ambulance staff, we're inviting a range of professionals with roles in stroke care at a number of hospital sites to participate, as we feel we can learn from everyone. We hope to speak with between 5 and 10 people at the National Ambulance Service. How will the study be carried out? The study will involve an interview with the researcher to discuss your experience of responding to stroke calls, providing acute stroke care and transporting patients with suspected stroke to hospital sites. Each interview will last about 40 to 60 minutes and can be held in person in a location that suits you, or an online meeting can be arranged if that's more suitable. The interview will be hosted by the doctoral researcher. The topics to be discussed have been designed to gain an understanding of your experience of different parts of the stroke care chain or stroke pathway, from pre-hospital alert to the emergency department to brain imaging, acute intervention and finally to admission to a stroke unit. Often the National Ambulance Service staff are present at all of these steps and so will have valuable contributions, including with regard to inter-hospital transfers and the thrombectomy pathways. Should you wish to participate at work, this can be accommodated at a time that suits your rota or service obligations. Should you prefer to participate out of work hours, that will also be accommodated. Your contributions will be the cornerstone of the study, and so your preferences will be prioritised. We hope that some of your work colleagues may also participate, but your participation, the content of your interview, will not be disclosed or discussed with them, or vice versa. The confidentiality of your contribution is assured. What will happen to me if I decide to take part? The interview will be hosted by the researcher. The questions will be open in nature. There's no right or wrong answer. We're interested in your observations, opinions and suggestions, and the goal is to learn from your experiences. The interview will be recorded using a voice recorder for in-person discussions and in video and voice recorder for online interviews. This allows a transcript or a written record of the discussion to be typed so that the researcher can later analyse the discussion for patterns in the conversations. Your individual identity will not be identifiable in the final typed transcript. Similar topics will be addressed with all interview participants using an interview guide that's been developed specifically for the study. So if you're new to your role and feel that you might not have a lot to contribute, please don't worry. It's still worth joining the conversation, as we feel we will learn from everyone. You will be asked to sign a consent form and reminded of the importance of confidentiality of all discussions. Are there any benefits to taking part in the research? Taking part in the study may not directly benefit you. However, research that includes your information may help us to better understand how best to organise and plan efficient acute stroke care services and approaches. The study hopes to impact health service policy and resourcing in future, so benefits of the research may not be seen for several years. However, by participating, you are helping to advance our understanding of stroke care pathways and processes in Ireland and to improve them in future. Do I have to take part? Can I withdraw? You do not have to take part in the study. It is entirely voluntary. If you decide not to take part, it won't affect your role in any way. You can change your mind about taking part in the study and opt out at any time, even if the study has started. If you decide to opt out, it won't affect your role in any way. You don't have to give a reason for not taking part or for opting out. What happens if I change my mind? You can change your mind at any time by contacting the researcher. Details are on the last page of this leaflet. You can ask for any of your stored data to be destroyed. Only if we are just about to publish a paper containing your data when you decide to withdraw would removal of data related to your contribution not be possible. Are there any risks to me or others if I take part? Research involving interviews are low risk in their design. However, discussions involving topics related to health and healthcare services can be emotive. It's also possible that you may have experienced difficult events during the course of your work, which could evoke difficult memories. So if you experience any distress during or after the interview, you can speak about this to the researcher. You can stop for a break temporarily, or you can withdraw from the study altogether. Your distress will be acknowledged and supported. If during or after the interview you indicate or express distress as a consequence of participating, it will be important for the researcher to alert your line manager about this distress so that you can be properly supported. Also, there's free, independent, confidential counselling supports available to all HSE staff through the HSE Employee Assistance Programme, or EAP. The telephone number for more information about the EAP is 0818 327 327, and the website is healthservice.hse.ie/staff benefits and services /employee assistance programme staff counselling. Your general practitioner can provide you with individualised health information about your own stroke risk if that's of concern to you, and the Irish Heart Foundation have very useful resources regarding stroke on their website at irishheart.ie. The contact details of the researcher are on the last page of this participant information leaflet and will be available to you for the duration of the study should you require any additional information. There is also a risk that a connection to your identity could be made by virtue of the fact that the number of people who work in stroke in your hospital or in Ireland or in the National Ambulance Service more generally is low. Great care will be taken to ensure the confidentiality of all data. What happens if something goes wrong when I'm taking part in the study? It's very unlikely that anything will go wrong as a result of participating in the study, as it involves a format of voluntary and open conversation. The researcher will contact you the day after the interview to check on your well-being and answer any questions that you might have. Will I be told of the outcome of the study? The results of the study will be reported in medical scientific journals and disclosed at medical scientific conferences. No information which reveals your identity will be disclosed. If you wish to receive a copy of any paper as published as part of this study, this can be arranged.